YouTube, how's it going? I'm back with another Team 7-round mock draft. This one is for the Miami Dolphins. Gonna keep going in draft order. I know a lot of you guys are requesting your teams. Maybe a team that has a late first-round pick. I'm sorry, but we're gonna go in draft order. We'll try to get there. Also doing fan-voted mock draft. Link in the description. That's not gonna match this. We're gonna try to keep ripping through these. So for the fan-voted mock draft, maybe a little bit behind the teams on these videos when they release. Give you guys a chance to vote for your teams. I want more than just a few votes, so it might be a little bit behind these, but we'll keep going through all those. We got free agency videos. Some will be out tomorrow, Tuesday, so check those out. We got plenty already uploaded. Free agency predictions. Regular 2-round mock draft got delayed a little bit because of Marcus Peters trade. We know how that turned out now. Rams stole him, basically. So that kind of messed things up. I automatically assumed that the Chiefs were getting the Rams' first-round pick, but so regular 2-round mock draft will be out in a few days. Keep going through these other videos in the meantime. So let's get into the Dolphins. First round pick. I'm taking Quenton Nelson, offensive lineman, Notre Dame. This is like best case scenario, what I would do. Kind of like a dream draft, but keep it realistic. I think people realize he's a top 3 talent in the draft, but how early is too early to take a guard? Some teams, I know there's some GMs that won't take a guard in the top 10, some won't take top 20, some won't in the first round. I don't know why that is, but that's how it is. I think it's a very important position, especially in today's NFL, but it's realistic that he can drop here. I don't see him getting past this point, though, so the Dolphins don't have a bunch of huge holes as long as they stay healthy at quarterback. Maybe people think they need a running back. I like Kenyon Drake a lot. But I think they need offensive line help, really, is where their biggest weaknesses are. So I had them taking Quenton Nelson, best case, in the first round. On to the second round for the Dolphins. Quenton Meeks, corner from Stanford. I really like Quenton Meeks. I really like this guy. You know, some people will say like 4th round. I don't know what they're talking about. This is a guy that I think is a sleeper for a first-round pick. Watch out for him sliding in the end of the first round. I think after the combine, teams are really going to like him. Not because the drills that everybody cares about, not because 40-yard dash. I mean, I think he's pretty fast. I think he's fast enough, but not because of those drills. It's because the defensive back drills. They're gonna see how good his technique is. Every part of technique. You're talking about hips, back pedal, footwork, turning the head, keep an eye on the quarterback, keep an eye on the ball, and everything. Everything. This guy's got it. Talking about technique from corners in this draft class, I'm looking at Josh Jackson and Quenton Meeks are the top 2. So, I mean, this guy's got a lot of potential, and he has size. Usually it's the guys that are smaller that don't have the technique. So I like Quenton Meeks a lot. I really like him. I think he's going to shoot up draft boards. People are going to start talking about more and more. So he could be a legit late first rounder. I like Quenton Meeks. A lot of good corners in this draft. Love the corner class. I do like the Dolphins' current corners. Young corners, Tankersley from last year. I liked him a lot. They got Howard in there. They could use another one, though. Then they can slide one of the other ones inside. I mean, it would be a dominant trio for the future. Really would be. So, on to the next pick. 3rd round, Jerome Baker, linebacker from Ohio State. I think potentially it could be a 2nd-round pick, but easily could slide in the 3rd round. I think the Dolphins could use a linebacker, too. I think Jerome Baker can play outside from him. Very athletic, very good in the passing game. So he could sneak in the 2nd round, but I really like the talent in the 2nd, 3rd round, so we're going to see some guys drop like this. Really, not the end of the 1st round talent compared to 2nd, 3rd round is not much of a difference. Very close this year, so you can get a guy like this in the 3rd round pretty easy, I think. Day 2 is going to be fun. So this fills a need at the linebacker position. Again, you can use 1 or 2 there. On to the next pick, 4th round, Deonte Burnett, wide receiver, USC, one of the younger players in the draft. Very consistent player, has speed. Really not too many weaknesses to his game. When I'm watching Sam Darnold, I think Burnett stands out more to me. I'm not a huge Sam Darnold fan. Obviously a good future ahead of him, but Burnett really stands out to me. He really helped Darnold, I think. He's a good football player. Smooth, good routes. Really not a lot of negatives. So I think it would be a good 4th-round pick. I think that's where he'll get drafted. Maybe the 3rd, but I'm thinking 4. I think the Dolphins possibly with trading Jarvis Landry, if they do, maybe they need one earlier. But I think Burnett come in there and play right away for him. Even if they keep Landry, I think they can use his talents. Devontae Parker, I'm still a believer in him. I like Devontae Parker, but They can do better, and I think they want better. So get Tannehill some more weapons. I like Burnett. I think it's a safe pick. Another fourth rounder. I haven't taken Mike White, the quarterback from Western Kentucky. I think he'll go third or fourth round. There's been some talk second round. I think that's a little early. A very good Senior Bowl week and Senior Bowl game. I think he'll go third or fourth though. You know the quarterbacks always shoot up boards though. I see a fit here. They obviously need a backup quarterback, and I see a fit. I can see him in Gase's offense. So I like Mike White backing up Tannehill. Maybe Tannehill gets hurt, and this would possibly be your guy here to start. But I'm not expecting Tannehill to get hurt, but just in case. So I think he fits the offense. I think they would like to have a guy. They may draft one earlier in this just to be safe. But I'm never a huge fan of overdrafting guys, even if it's a quarterback, maybe a little bit. But this is more of his range. So I like Mike White there for the Dolphins. A guy to compare him to is Kyle Lauletta in terms of where they're going to go in the draft. I'm a little higher on Lauletta, but both of them that same range probably should be third or fourth, but could possibly sneak in a second. That would be overdrafting, but it could happen. They don't have a fifth, but they have a sixth. I got Rock Thomas, running back from Jacksonville State. This guy's a beast. He should go earlier in the sixth round, but probably won't. Maybe the fifth. Really has all the traits. He came from Auburn, transferred to Jacksonville State, tore it up over there. He's good in every part of the game. Not a lot of weaknesses for this guy, too. He should go earlier, but yeah, he'll go a little later, maybe because the running back class is so good, but I mean, he's your second string, maybe even third string right away because, Dolphins got two running backs they were able to play last year, even after they lost Jay Ajayi, traded him away. But I think Rock Thomas can play. Very strong, good athlete. I like him a lot. On to their next pick. It is Siron Neal, another Jacksonville State guy. Notice that I had back-to-back Jacksonville State guys after making these graphics. That was not done on purpose, but I like Siron Neal. There's a number of teams I really like him on. I think he fits good on, and the Dolphins could be one of them. I have DB down here because he can play safety or corner. Obviously, they have their corner set at this point, and they have their starting safety set with Jones and McDonald. So Siron Neal, where does he fit in? Well, he gives you depth for safety and corner, but he could come in games as a box or a nickel guy. Very physical, may get called for maybe some holding, some pass interference. That's why he drops a little bit, but very physical guy. We've seen him in one-on-ones in the Senior Bowl. Look very impressive. So there's some teams that I really like him on, so I would like him on the Dolphins. They could maybe use, obviously he'd be a good depth guy, but they could use somebody in the slot too. Maybe he doesn't play there right away, but it is the 7th round. But really up to this point, got some good guys here for the Dolphins. I think they can help them in any way early. So I do like Siron Neal as a late-round guy, late-round sleeper. And on to their last pick, another 7th-round pick. It's going to be Jojo Wickard, DN from Arizona State. Kind of just get some depth. He was a productive guy, very productive guy. He's going to go later, though. It's not all about production, especially when you're talking about edge rushers. It's more about the technique. So he drops a little bit, but he's a good player to grab in the 7th round for depth. If it is the 7th round, don't expect starters, but down here, I know most of you will not, but I really think that the Dolphins' D-line is pretty set. I know some people think they may need more depth earlier in this. I don't know. I like their guys. They drafted well last year. I think Charles Harris, I'm expecting him to have a breakout year. I like him at DN. They already got a couple other DNs to play alongside him, and then they drafted two young interior D linemen last year, Godshaw and Vincent Taylor. Vincent Taylor was one of my favorite players in the draft last year, so I like his future. I like him possibly starting for the Dolphins inside that D line this year. So I really like their D line. I know Wake's getting older, maybe less productive, but they got more than just that. Ndamukong Suh, even if they don't like his contract in the future, I don't think that they're going to do anything with that right now, but they could in the near future. I think they still got some guys. They still got some guys down there. Maybe just get some depth. It's really all you need. So I like the Dolphins roster. I like their team, building those young DBs. I'm a big fan of that. I just really the quarterback position. Again, I thought maybe some thought running back may be an issue after trading Jay Ajayi. I like Drake, strong runner, physical guy, really impressed me. So I just quarterback. I mean, I was never really a big fan of Tannehill, even as a prospect, but I mean he's better than a lot of these guys. It just is, can he stay healthy is the question. So they could draft one in the first if Quenton Nelson is gone. They don't like Orlando Brown or or Isaiah Wynn, maybe another guard option there. James Daniels, maybe a little early. They could look at quarterback. I am a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I like Baker Mayfield, I like Josh Rosen. A lot of these quarterbacks are good. But I know Lamar Jackson will be there. So, I mean, maybe they'll think about it. But we'll see. I'm a big fan of building that offensive line in free agency. So maybe they don't think Quenton Nelson will be there. Maybe they think they have to trade up for him. So maybe they build it in free agency. I think that's really their biggest need. That and maybe linebacker. But there's some really good corners here that can stand out earlier in their career, like Quenton Meeks. So that's why I had them grabbing him, even though I do like their young corners. So it's looking good for the Dolphins as long as they stay healthy. I think they drafted well last year. Really liked their class last year, so let's hope they do it again this year. But that'll do it for the Dolphins video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're going to continue on in draft order, so stay tuned for those free agency breakdowns and predictions, maybe trade scenarios to come, all kinds of stuff. We're doing all kinds of stuff over here, and thanks everyone for the support. But that'll do it for this one. Goodbye.